Hey, what's going on, guys? Pardon me for my schedule. I'm just wrapping school up, so hopefully my schedule can be way more consistent. Quickly, I want to say be sure to subscribe, since at 2.5k subs, I'll be creating a Discord and hosting giveaways for those who enter. Now, moving on, today we're going to be talking about 10 tips for beginners who are just trying out Kendo. So let's get straight into our first tip, which is the playstyle for Kendo. Kendo overall has a super strong kit, where the kit consists of having multiple gap closers and guard breaks. The best way to play Kendo is to pressure the hell out of whoever you're fighting and overwhelm them with your entire kit, as a lot of the moves can easily chain into each other and deal massive damage. This works great for if you want to pin down people who run away, or medics who attempt to heal once they flash up away into Encompass. Kendo also works even better against healers and medics, as their weapon attacks apply anti-heal to stun Vasto and Vizard regen. The next tip is how to maximize the efficiency of Kendo. Currently, as it stands, Around cars are the least effective with Kendo, since they don't have any way to enhance their Kendo moves like Vizards and Quincy's do. As for the strongest race with Kendo, both Let's and Vizard have the same enhancements, except for some reason, Quincy's delayed crossings can ragdoll while Vizard can't. So, in my opinion, Quincy's are the best, especially when paired with the boost variant. The third tip in mind is choosing a weapon and your critical. Having a weapon that can either guard break or chain into other moves in your kit is a good driving force in landing more moves and having access to more guard breaks. Weapons like Neuroider's Scythe, where it both disables flash step and guard breaks, is a great example and supportive in pressuring your opponents. Moving on to my fourth tip will be to always feint Flower Passage. With Flower Passage now being able to guard break again, it has now become the best gap closer that cannot be blocked. When it comes to landing Flower Passage, you never want to use the entire Flower Passage, since the 2 slashes afterwards don't guard break or deal a whole lot of damage. So the best options after feinting Flower Passage is to use any guard breaks in your kit, such as Overpowering, Vertical Down, Sonata, or even your critical. If you can, you should always feint your Flower Passage as late as possible to throw off their timing and make them think you'll actually go through with the entire move. The next tip in mind is to also feint your M1s. This might seem fairly small, but when it comes to feinting M1s, a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, will always try to parry your M1s. So if you feint your M1s correctly, you can easily waste their parry frames and follow up with something like a Vertical Down and a Split Gate for some easy big damage. Moving on to the sixth tip is jumping with Eviscerate. If you use the Eviscerate ability in your kit, you should always jump near the end of Eviscerate's dash to go even further, as the ability still lingers and carries momentum where the dash typically stops. On screen, you'll see a comparison on using Eviscerate with and without jumping. The next tip for Kendo users is to abuse posture damage. When you apply posture damage to an enemy, even a small amount like a bar and a half of posture damage can allow your Eviscerate or Mortal Ties to guard break, since those two aren't very easy to parry. Using moves like Flowing Petals or even your partial, Shikai, or Shrift to apply posture is super good for chaining moves that deal a high amount of posture. The next tip I want to talk about is your Flowing Petals follow-up mechanic. A lot of people will typically try and immediately do the follow-up after landing the second hit of Flowing Petals. However, 90% of the time, this usually ends in the person dodging or parrying the attack. Something you can keep in mind to land the follow-up more often is the window for actually using the follow-up lasts for around 7 seconds. So in those 7 seconds, you can use any other moves or try to bait out their flash step to make the last hit land much easier. My next tip for Kendo users is to use Splitgate within your kit. I see a lot of people throw away or replace Splitgate once they get Horizon Core as a replacement, but it should actually be used to give you more opportunities to land Horizon. One scenario where if you have Vertical or Horizon on cooldown, you'll always have another option to deal heavy damage as long as you have 2 out of the 3 moves available. My last tip for you guys is to abuse the timing for True Pierce. Since Horizon interacts with True Pierce, people instinctively will use it immediately after using Vertical Down. However, this method is unreliable when you don't guard break the person, since a lot of people will typically wait for the Horizon to parry or move quickly with their flash step. One thing to remember about True Pierce is that the effect lasts for 5 seconds, meaning if you wait 4 seconds, Horizon Core will still play the cutscene after you land it. So you can abuse the 5 seconds to wait out their flash step, use other moves, or even just simply feint an M1 to throw off their parry timing against Horizon. Other than that, that's all I got for the beginner tips for Kendo. Let me know what you guys think about my tips, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.